Yo, good morning. It is Sunday morning. I've got my coffee. Interesting times, huh, guys? Interesting times. I hope everybody is safe out there. We'll go ahead and do coffee talk. Anyway, in the face of adversity, we, we will press on. I was thinking about that a little bit. I was going to say something like the old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. And I said, I wonder where that comes from. And, well, that's actually interesting because it apparently doesn't come from China. apparently comes from British diplomatic sources in the early 1900s or maybe 1800s, depending on what you read, purporting to be an ancient Chinese curse. The idea being that it is better to live in boring times than to live in interesting times because they're usually full of upheaval and chaos and such. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I'll throw that out for you guys. And it looks like Kennedy used it in a speech as well. So kind of interesting. It digs a little deeper into it if you're interested in it. In the Wikipedia, a couple of these websites that look into quotes and try to find the sources. There are some things in Chinese scripture and Chinese writings that might be kind of close, but nothing exactly like that. So learn a new thing. I thought that for years and years, that was a ancient Chinese curse. And don't you feel oh so clever when you say that to people? Until they dig into it and find out, yeah, that British basically made that up at some point. Anyway, I am safe and hunkered down. What am I doing? What are you guys doing? I have done a lot of yard work. I pulled up a bunch of bushes that I didn't want anymore. Kind of smoothed out those areas. I fixed the golf cart because it was wonky, and then proceeded to give it to somebody so they could deliver food from their restaurant in the little locality that they're at. That was good though because they're like, hey, can we borrow that? And I'm like, yeah, I've been meaning to fix that for about a year, so I finally got that thing fixed. Little jobs like that, things that I've kind of been leaving for I don't know when, but apparently now it would appear to be the time. Anyway, I hope you guys are all safe. I hope you're getting something done. Hey man, write a book, watch those movies that you didn't watch, do some yard work, fix something around the house, whatever it is. Let me know down below what y'all are doing. Just sitting around playing tanks. I did a little bit of that. I think my next live stream is going to be on Monday. Maybe. I'm not sure. There might be two on Monday. What I'm trying to do, I'm linked up with StackUp, which is one of these veteran support gamers who do things like bring consoles and games and things to guys who are deployed. They do some other stuff along the way in relation to suicide awareness, things like that. So I'm just learning a little bit more about it. I know that the Devil Dog streams for them on their stream team. I may join their stream team if that happens. Still got to talk to the house general. I may be streaming in a 2-hour block on Monday evenings, which will be something like 7 to 9. It's either 6 to 9 or 7 to 9. Somewhere in there. It might even be 5 to 7. I can't. Anyway, it's a block in Monday, late afternoon, early evening there, and that would be weekly. So I'll let you guys know. I'm not sure if that's happening yet, but I am working on that. I might also stream in the morning. I know that's all nebulous, but this is a fluid situation all around. The problem is tomorrow, potentially my kids go back to school via distance learning, and that's going to be utter chaos. I have tomorrow off, but I may be the technical expert on getting a lot of things going. My wife is doing the same for her teaching as well. Okay, look for an interview on Tuesday. Keep clicking, that's probably annoying as hell. Look for an interview on Tuesday with Domo Sapien. That's the next person I interview. Pretty good interview, so we're going to find some things out right there. That's pretty cool. No super secret stuff, but it was a good conversation with him. Might clear some things up for you guys on what he does for wargaming and what his interaction is with both the CCs and the community, because he's a community manager, not just a CC manager. Little quick update, 30 tanks until I catch them all. 30 tanks. I only have to get 30 more tanks, and I have every tech tree tank in the game. They're all tier 2 or below. Some of them are even tier 1. But 30 more, and I'll just keep that updating until I get it done. I'm sort of just grabbing free slots as I go. I could just go buy 30 slots and get it over with, but we'll string it out a little bit and make it kind of a little hunt kind of thing. Not that anybody gives a crap, but there you go. I do. All right, let's move on to missions and specials. And hey, look what I have there in the garage. I need to look up like this. Look what's up there. Is that right? Yeah. Look at that. Oh boy, we'll talk about that later on a couple times during coffee talk here. So I've got my coffee. I hope you got your coffee or tea or hot toddy or something to soothe the nerves. And we will move on to missions and specials. Well, first things second and third and fourth, we have to shill. It's time for the shill nation. I don't know, maybe you want to hold on to your money right now with the way things are going, but in any event, if you got a little extra and you feel like you need a new tank, hey, you can get an E25. Remember that? Remember the tank they were never going to sell again? Whoa, what? I thought they were going to never sell that. I need to look up here. Okay, that's my startled look. Oh, color me surprised. Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to talk about that thing in a minute. Let's just start that off by saying, is there a better poster child? Or let's put it this way. This is the poster child for wargaming allowing their balance to get completely out of hand. Right? This really is the poster child for that. No, not touched, not nerfed. Was supposedly never going to be sold again, yet here it is. All right. Sign of the end times? I don't know. 7501 Ultimate, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the 7501 is back. It's balanced. Not amazing, not bad. It's a slow, heavy tank with all its armor up front. Take that for what it's worth in the current meta. I like it. It's a kind of fun tank to play, but you're not going to zip around the board. You're not going to zip around the map and do all kinds of saves and resets and make bold plays. You're going to go somewhere and face punch for a while and maybe get to another flank or towards the cap or maybe get back if you have to. That's kind of it. That's what you're going to do with that. The Scorpions are still out, so you can buy all the various versions of the Scorpion. Holy cow. All right, that's everything going on there. For gold, not much in there. Lots of different packages. This is really kind of expanded over the last year, so there's lots of different options, and a lot of them have premium time attached to them. So you really make sure you dig into these things. And this is your friend right here. I don't talk about this much, but right here, any amount of gold. So anytime you want to know what you're kind of getting, make sure you come over here and check the amount of gold for what the actual cost in dollars or Canadian or pounds or whatever it is you're buying it in is. Check that. And then go over and you say, all right, 30 days of premium. Come over here to premium account and go, what are they selling 30 days of premium for? Okay, it's worth $12.59. Also, remember, you can throw your coupons on top of that. So there's a lot of kind of calculations going in there. Do your due diligence. Look at what it is. Count up what the worth of that is according to them. And then make that decision in your mind as to whether it's worth that much to you. Sometimes in amongst these deals are pretty good deals that are better than other ones. I'm not going to break them all down. I do that once in a while for you guys. But just really look at it and kind of give it the old sideways whale eye. Okay, is that really worth it? Right there, all right? I sound like your mom. All right. Somebody told me they're not my mom. Somebody that I'm semi-professionally not really working with, but anyway, I'm not going to get into the details, but I had to laugh. We're having a professional discussion here, and your comment is you're not my mom. Okay. Copy. Thank you. Anyway, premium days, some of them can use the coupons. Typically, the coupons have some kind of limit on dollars, which is why these smaller ones can't have coupons. But why you would use a coupon on a day or 7 or 14, I don't really know. Perhaps you just really need that 10% coupon to take 90 cents or 93 cents off of your 14 days. I don't know. It's possible. This is where it kind of gets fun. We've got the 7502, the E25 TUI, the various Scorpions, and let me see if I can find where it was because it kind of cracked me up. Maybe it's on the other page. Oh, here it is. I love these little details, man. All right, so on the T27, if you'll notice the writing down below here, no, I can't do that. Anyway, see where it says Care Package Battle Pass, go to T27. I said, oh, okay. Finally, a little bit of data on where this is coming from. They used to say exclusive. I'm going to take credit for them changing that. I don't care if it's always been that way. I'm calling it a change because I just didn't notice it. So, right, they changed it. But over here, it's Care Battle Pass package for the Skoda T40. I'm looking at that. Okay, wait a minute. I have to go like this. All right. What? Care Package Battle Pass and Care Battle Pass package. All right. Web designer guy. Control V and Control C are your friends. Okay? Don't fat finger stuff in. Once you get it written right, use that same one for the rest of them. I don't know. Maybe there's a specific reason it's like that. Often you guys fix me down in the description, so if you can figure that one out, please let me know. I like to learn. But that one cracked me up. Now this is Care Package, not Care Package Battle Pass or Care Battle Pass Package. It's Care Package. I think that was an earlier Care Package, the Schmaltrum for me. Because I believe these are for the Battle Pass stuff, and this was an earlier Care Package for the Schmaltrum. So I don't know how long that one goes, because the ELC even 90 shows up still as a Care Package deal for me as well. That is a fun scout. I say this every time, guys. I'm telling you what. I don't push too many tanks, but if you want a fun tank, if you're a scout guy, that tank is a lot of fun. Is it an amazing, great game carrier? It can be, you know, but is it a completely overpowered? I would say it's close to, I would say close to overpowered, but I would say it's a powerful tier 8 light tank. But if you're a light tank player, for 26 bucks, it's hard to go wrong with how fun that stupid little thing is. Okay, so we got more Care Package stuff. And I thought the prototype and the 50 TP were Care Package things, but they don't show up as that. So lots of tanks for sale, guys. Tons of tanks. There's still that big starter pack thing going on. And I think that's pretty much it for shilling. There's nothing else to say. The ×5 things are still for sale. Oh, Lowe's M4. If you don't have enough M4s in your garage and you need one more, or two even, you could pick up the Fury. You get the Fury and the Loza out there, so both those are available. I think I'd have to look at it. This is an M4A2. Yeah. I think this is like the E2 with the more armor on it, I want to say, and this is more like an EZ8. I think that's the difference between those two, but the numbers for all the Shermans are just slightly different along the way. And that is it, I think, for shilling. Good deal. Let's move on to specials and missions. All right, no particular order. We got Wave 4 of Tank Mastery. What is going on with Tank Mastery? We have the Kehoe, that everyone loves the Kehoe, don't they? The Kron, the Panzer III-4, and the, wow, those are, other than the Kron, what on earth? Okay, if you want to get out there and master the IKV-72 and do some awesome Type 5 Kehoe gaming, now's the time, folks. Now's the time. I know you've been waiting for it. Let's see the live stream. Oh, let's make sure everybody gets this. All right. 14 days of premium, folks. I hope you already have it. If you haven't, do it today. I believe today's the last day. Be Safe 2020. All you have to do is go there to that link that I just clicked on. Where did it go? All right. Let's go back just to get you guys sorted out. It's this one, or you just type Be Safe 2020 in the standard place, but find You Are Not Alone During Trying Times. All right? That's actually a code. There's a code in there. You want this, okay? If you went, oh, thanks for the platitude, Wargaming, it's not really a platitude. It's a good deal. Click on that, claim your gift, and it goes to Friday, April 3rd. Oh, look, never mind. Today is not the last day. You may want to time that, actually, then. You may want to time that. For me, when I see things like this, because sometimes they goof these dates up, I grab it as soon as I can. But if you're stuck at home for a couple weeks, man, claim that gift, baby. So click on the button, and it takes you to Be Safe 2020. Or you can go fat finger it into the standard thing up here, which you would go like that, and you would come down here to activate Wargaming code. That's how you do those things. All right, cool. Highly recommended. Do that. Do it. 14 days of premium. Okay. I don't know. Oh, weekend. Here we go. Now, Do you guys see it formatted like this? Is it just me? I saw this formatting and I went, I'm doing this a lot today. I'm like, what is going on here? This is terrible. And maybe it's just my web browser doing this. Hopefully your formatting is better than this, but I cannot figure out much of what's going on here. The idea here is to let you know what's going on the weekend. There's a lot going on. That's been commented on several times along the way by a lot of different CCs. It's good and bad. I like it on the one hand. It's hard to follow on the other. So if you're like me and you play a lot, it doesn't take much finally to figure it out, but you do have to dig into it. If you're a brand new player, you'd be completely overwhelmed. I suppose, considering what we have going on in the world today, it's better to have too much to do. So I won't complain, but I will say that this formatting is a little bit crazy. Here's the other deal. Maybe this person's working from home now. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I hope they could do better from home. Can we still be critical, or do we have to all be happy hug? I don't know. Maybe we need to be a little happy hug. So let me try to dig through this in any event, because there's a lot going on. We've got 14 days of premium, the mastery stuff. There was that Dawn of Industry. That was a clan versus clan thing. NA versus, is that the Pacific, right? The Asian server, basically? Or is that a different server that's actually down? I don't know. APAC server. Let's just leave it at that. I need to look into that because I'm not sure if the Asian server is the same as the APAC server. The Luck of the Irish skin is still out, and that ends today. So if you want that thing. I did ask Domo about the price of the skins. Interesting answer, and it's basically what I've said that I've heard from Wargaming, but it's still I'm not going to say I don't believe him. I'm just going to say that I think maybe it's exaggerated, or I don't know. Anyway, let's not get into that. You can see it on the interview. Daily ×5 and discounts ends this weekend. ×2 this weekend. We'll look at those missions in a minute. Is this working? It was not working at the very beginning. I don't know if they got it fixed. I don't see any news from Wargaming. I need to look in the forums. Maybe I'll do that when I take a break here in just a second and come back. But I know there was an issue with the Sheriff Hunt. That's a bummer. If that didn't go off, that kind of stinks. This duo's out. These are all sales. Gold, Fury, Tank Rewards. Women's History Month. Yeah, that's the Tank Rewards. We'll look at that in just a second. I just finished mine already. More offers. Tournament missions. Ranked battles ends on April 4th. How's everybody doing on that? How's everybody doing on ranked battles? I haven't touched it. Literally have not played a single game and probably will not. I would like to get the Tier 9 tank. How's everybody doing? Are you done? What are you feeling about it this time? Usually I played a couple times to get a feel and talk to you guys about it, but I just don't like it, man. I don't want to go play against I don't want to go play against half the team in Chieftains and eat 279 earlies. And 907s. That does not appeal to me. On track, Twitch Prime. Make sure that you do your care package battle pass. So that's interesting. They've actually not ended the Twitch deal. I mean, the first deal is ended, but apparently they've made a new one for battle pass for at least the next, I want to say 2, maybe 3 months until April 9th it looks like, to get that one. And I think it looks like when I went to Twitch Prime, to my Twitch Prime page, it showed at least two more packages coming. So that's a good deal. Although there was I don't think there was a commander this time. Probably because there's a commander to get in Battle Pass. We'll look at that in a minute. Battle Pass Season 1 goes to June 9th. So maybe the connection with Twitch will go to June 9th. And then the IS-3 and Kron both have 3D styles. I'll try to remember to show those to you guys. And there you go. A lot of stuff going on, guys. A lot of those were sales, though. So I think that's pretty much it for that. Let's go ahead and jump into the AI. Let's jump into the AI, into the matrix. The UI or the AI. All right, I'm going to have to go refresh this. Events, nothing going on event-wise. I am at stage 35. I bought 20 since the gold comes from Wargaming essentially anyway for me. And so I've done 15 stages standard-wise, and I'm at 35. Which means that I have the purple bounty, whatever you want to call it, Gunlang drive, and I have the rammer. Interesting that the rammer was much faster. You automatically got it. Well, maybe not interesting at all. It's one of the things about buying the 20 up front. It immediately gives you the rammer, but in order to get to the Gunlang drive, you had to get to 30. You had to get to 30. So I have achieved all these things. Lots of books, lots of reserves. These are nice. The credit reserves, I've been using those. Looks like I get 3 more. Do I get another section of 3? I'll get 6 more by the time I'm done, up to 45, and then you jump into the bonds, which is what I'm looking for. There's some crew skins coming up on the improved rewards, premium, whatever you want to call it, bought, paid for side. You get more days of premium when you do it. There's some more silver. Looks like I'm going to end up with another 2 million in silver total along the way. There is some camo. This is up on the standard one, so there's a nice thing of 9 camo that you can get. And I don't know if these are full camo or it looks like these are the sectional ones, maybe. Now, that's a good question. Is that actually 9 camos? Or is it 3 for a tank to get full camo? Not sure. I'll have to see what happens with that when I get to it. What else have I got? All kinds of goodies, man. All kinds of goodies. So that's Battle Pass onto Missions. This is the experience weekend thing going on. You can do 5 enemy vehicles damaged 10 times. So 50. Math in public, right? You get small kits, but every time you do it, you get one of these. So you can get 10 of these tokens a day. You need 20 of these tokens to get these reserves right here. And so I played a little bit this weekend, not crazy. Hopefully I can knock this out maybe today. Although I don't know, it's 50. I don't know if I'm going to play that much today. We'll see. And you can do this 10 times. Looks like if I win 5 battles, does that knock it out? I guess it might. I didn't notice I was getting a bunch of gasoline along the way, and it doesn't show me what I did yesterday. Interesting. If you're in the top 10, you're ×2 crew. So that's what's going on with that. On track's on. What do we got? I think it's the Kron. No, it's the Leopard. That's pretty good on track. People like the Leopard. Watch Salute's still going on. That's the veteran thing. Tank Rewards is still going on. I said we'd look at it. Let me jump back to that in just a second. Tank Rewards. Prime Challenge. Yep, that's for linking. That's the Twitch Prime thing. I have finished that, looks like. And I can still do 10 ×2. It looks like crew experience is just cruising along for this weekend. So I've got all these things. These are nice. Didn't take too much to do them. All right, let's jump back over to... Where was I trying to go? Oh, right. We are looking for tank rewards. All right, Women's History Month. Remember, if you are a veteran, you're getting 200 points every time you play one battle. So it was very easy. I'll show you what I selected. I took the Wargaming Fest, and this gave it's like Commander skins, I believe, on those two. And then I took the Ad Astra. I like that. That's a good camo. I like the Ad Astra quite a bit. Colored Optics is not bad, but they always throw the Gunlang drive in there to make you go, oh! And then this is not bad. If you use food, that's a good choice as well, but I wanted this skin. This is mostly fragments. It's nice that one of them is not fragments. I don't need any of these because I don't have to unlock anything, so that's the choice for you guys who need to unlock. I grabbed the 15 kits of each. That was good. There's those garage slots I'm always looking for, so I grabbed those. This is this is okay. But this is a commander, so if you're new to the game and you're still looking for good commanders, that would have been a good one to grab right there. And then I took the, I didn't look into it. I only assumed that the HT number 6 was the most expensive one, but I got, I want to say 750,000 silver for it. So they fixed that. Plus I got the slot, which was nice. That was one more slot thrown on there. I should go look in the store at which one of these is really worth more, but they may all be 750,000 silver. Just as a matter of course. That was a pretty good deal. All right, let's move on. All right, before we go, I wanted to show you this one more time. I did it last week, but on the dailies, remember when you come in here and you go to your standard, all right, if you have premium, you have the premium ones. That depends on if you have premium or not. We come over here, and we have the daily missions, okay, which is taken over rewards for merit. Those are gone. Remember, you can re-roll these things if you don't like either the thing you have to do or the thing you're going to win. I'm also kind of looking at this going, all right, I know that this is, I think, the lowest silver you can get. Now, if it shows blueprints, I always re-roll it. You can do one of these every 4 hours. But if I see this, I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll just roll the dice and see what I can get. Now, I know what's going to happen here because of my luck. I'm going to end up with blueprints. But let's check it out. We're going to do this live right now. We're going to go ahead and re-roll. I'll show you how you do it. Just press that. It says, hey, you sure you want to do this? Yes, do that. Blueprints. Blueprints. It's taking a while. Uh-oh. Is my game going to lock up? Oh, look at that. I get a kit. In theory, that's worth 20. So I just made 10,000. Gambling. It's gambling. So I just need to do 500 hit points. Now that didn't change. So I'm wondering, was it 500? I'm going to have to watch that a little closer. I don't remember if both the mission thing you do changes or just the reward. I think both. I think it just basically randomly does both, but I'll have to pay attention to that. Win 2 battles, I get 500 free experience, and then destroy 5 vehicles. Not all at once. Cumulative, I'll get another 30,000 coins, so that's actually pretty good. And that gets me up to 25 of 45 to hit the super bonus, whatever that may be, which is, well, it's 100. It's 100 bonds. It's a day of premium, which is pretty cool. And then something. That is one thing that you can kind of time if you knew you have a day off and you're low on premium or you're free to play. You could time this to bring these things right up to near completion, so to speak. I crack myself up. PG, folks. We're trying to keep this PG. To near the end. Let's go. Near finish. Oh boy, we've gone off the rails. And then time it such that you can sit down, play that last game or two, get your day of premium, and you're off for a 24-hour session because you have a day of premium. That happens. The day of premium is at the end of all of these. So you could time those out for the weekend to have a day of premium to just grind if you know that that's your day to play. I don't know. Throw it out there. Could work. All right. I'd hate to see you waste it. Like you're just playing one day, and then the premium hits, then you can't play anymore, and you lose your day of premium. I don't know if anybody who watches me operates on that kind of shoestring. We're all, I think most of us are older. That probably doesn't matter, but just in case it does, man, I think it's probably a good technique.
All right, next.
All right, subjects du jour. So the scavenger hunt, according to Domo, he is working on that coming back. So pay attention. He's still doing some work. He's not 100% sure, but he is looking at that. So hopefully that shows up in the next month or two. And the next thing is going to be the bloody E25 being sold. So we're going to talk a little bit about numbers, perception, and reality. And we're going to use two examples, the E25 and the Brit Lights. The Brit Light thing, I kind of went off on it on a stream the other day. And the impetus for that was Skill 421, who's an amazing player and a streamer, big. He's huge, right? 52,000 times bigger than me. But he put out a video, disparaging the Mana Core, calling it the shit core, the worst this, the worst that. And that got me thinking a little bit about it because I've championed the Brit Lights. Not that I have ever said they're the best. I always love because the comebacks when I say these things is, well, they're not the best tank. You're wrong. Like I never said they were the best. What I said is that they're performing fine. They're actually good, right? They're balanced good, not good as in they're the best. There's one that is bad. We'll look at it. The Setters is objectively, arguably bad because the numbers show that to be true. It's a good example though because I personally like the Setter and do well in it, but it is an example of the idea that a good player can do well in even bad tanks. But that cannot be used as the only answer to tanks that are doing well statistically. So the setter has a bad stats. I do well in it because I'm a good player and for some reason it syncs with my playstyle. But it doesn't seem to sync with everyone's playstyle because it's at the bottom of most of the stats. And again, we'll look at it. The rest of them, though, are not at the bottom of the rest of the stats. They're in the middle to slightly high, interestingly, in the case of the Mana Core, that got crapped on by a very good player. So arguably and objectively, they are not bad. And it is not a case of good players make it good. Because all of the numbers show all of the people playing it actually do pretty average. Again, we'll look at it. The other example, though, the one I really want to start with is this little bugger right here. Gotta look up here. Is this it? Yeah, this guy, the E25. The E25. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring up my second monitor again. And I'm sitting here at wattinfo.net. We're looking at the US stats, but you can look at all of them. They're roughly similar to the point I'm trying to make. So I get irritated when I see a lot of people playing the E25. Definitely one of the overpowered premiums. It's the poster child for Wargaming not doing anything with balancing for years and years and years, and really just letting it all completely get out of hand. To the point where now we have to have all these massive rebalances, which they are, to be quite honest, flailing with right now. Not failing, flailing. Like they're just throwing stuff out at trying to find a way to do something when what they should have been doing was iterative changes to tanks to include premiums. They needed to bite that bullet long, long ago. Sorry, folks. We have to balance premiums. I know we sold it, but for the good of the game, we have to balance them. So what we have is they're attempting to balance the game around their imbalanced tanks, largely premiums and prize tanks, which are the problem. It's incredible. But let's look at the stats, because the perception is that the E25 is overpowered. And I found something very interesting here, actually. Very interesting. If we look at win rate, guess what's at top? Su-12244. Now, I knew that was a good one. I like it. But it's not the one that people run around and complain about. What's interesting here is that's a lot of battles, 537,000. But if you look at the E25, over 1 million battles in the E25. Twice the nearest competitor. That's why you see more of them. That's why the perception is that they're overpowered. You might go, well, Guido, look. It's not overpowered. Look at, you're talking numbers, it's down at 7. But there's more to the story, because you look at it and you go, all right, neither one of them are particularly survivable, especially the 25. But now we start getting into the damage and whatnot. It gets nearer the top. Kills to deaths, it's second. Notice that the Su-122 is even better for most of this. Hit percentage near the top. Su-12244 drops off because it's got a derpy gun. The number of destroyed in battle is the highest. Again, here's the other guy, the other offender, lurking around the top. Average damage, third. Spotted is high. People use it like a scout. That's not surprising. Capture points, relatively low. The plotting AT-15 is up there. That is a testament to people using W in this tank and never turning around to go back to their home camp. Stopped or dropped capture points at the top. Now here's the most interesting part of it. Old efficiency, top. Win 8, second. But notice that this guy also lurked around at the top. In fact, he was better in most cases with a higher win rate. The 12244 also needs a nerf. It is overpowered. The perception, though, is that the E25 needs it worse because there's just so many more out there. You see them played so much more. But the fact is, they both do. They both do. They both need to be adjusted. I just thought that was really telling, really interesting, because on the one hand, you can get kind of emotional about the E25, about how it, is bad for the game and it's overpowered and needed to be nerfed. But if we objectively look at it and look at numbers like this and go, yeah, it does. It's obviously overperforming in a lot of cases, but ooh, this one is even worse. It's like a 6-second 390. I want to say it's around 6-second 390 alpha reload tank. if it is allowed to sit there and shoot you, you are going to get absolutely massacred. It has some drawbacks as far as accuracy and speed and things like that. But even with that, and even with the drawbacks of the E25, the penetration, the low alpha, things like that, they still well overperform, and they needed to be adjusted a long time ago. So perception and reality. Sometimes the perception is covering up other realities in case of the 122-44, but the reality here is that both these need to have something done with it. Now, here's the next one, the Brit lights. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and go to light tanks, as soon as I can figure out how to do so, and we're going to go to tier 10 for the US. The numbers are similar across all of the servers. So let's take a look at win rate. Manticore is a terrible, terrible tank, right? That's what we've been told. It's an awful tank. The perception is it's bad. It's been said that it's bad from the beginning. The legend has grown that it's bad. So now we're 5-6 months down the road. All of the rationalizations and the arguments about how it's early yet, only good players play it. My absolute favorite, it doesn't get any better than this one, is, well, you do better in it because you're more careful. And I'm like, no shit. But the point of that is, you do better in it. I don't care how you do better in it. It doesn't matter how you do better in it. Sometimes you do better in it because it's overpowered, like an E25 or a 122-44. Over time, in the macro sense of it. If people learned that the Manticore's strengths are to be careful and be stealthy, and they start winning, that doesn't make it a bad tank. It makes it a tank that a lot of very good players don't particularly like the play style of. It makes it a tank that maybe doesn't fit in their circle of, it's a square that's not fitting in their circle of scouts. But it objectively does not make it a bad tank because it rolls a 54% win rate, second on the server. Now this is a much smaller sample size than the rest of them. A much smaller sample size, but I don't even think at this point that it's just only good players playing it. If we had 4 or 5 years of data, it would be better data. Definitely. But right now, from what we're seeing, it's not. It's objectively not a bad tank. Survival rate, how we doing? Oh, look. Damage dealt, second. Kills to deaths, second. Hit percentage, first. Third. Average damage, second. Second to the AMX 13105, which is actually kind of a damage-dealing beast. Spotted. This one surprised me a little bit and does speak to people being careful in the tank so they don't rage forward with it. Capture is kind of whatever, it's download. Defended, also pretty low, middle or so. Efficiency rating puts it at 5th, but remember that one is farmed with capping points. And win 8 is second. All right, guys, it's time to admit it is not a bad tank. It just isn't. It just is not a bad objectively, provably, not a bad tank. Needs 3 crew. I say that every time. 2 crew is a kick in the jimmy of the player base. It's a complete screw job by Wargaming. You bring up a 3 crew through all the rest of them. You get to tier 10, their supposed end tier, and then you screw them over by dropping a crew member and all his skills and forcing the other 2 to take those on. Bullshit. Complete screw job. There are many tanks in this game. Let's call it multiple tanks. I don't know how many numbers. There are multiple tanks that have 3 crew instead of the 2 they really would have had. I think there's only 2 other than very, very early light tanks, like interwar tanks that have 2. I want to say the ELC BAS is one of them, and this is the other. But for game balance and not screwing over your player base, it should have 3, even though that's not historical. All right. I mean, historical is out the window, isn't it? Now let's take a look at tier 9. Same thing. How are we doing? We've got win rate. Middle, GSOR. T49 is worse. WZ-132A is worse. SWA Panzer is worse. Survival rate. First. Damage. Middle. Kills to death. Middle. Hit percent. Second. Destroyed per battle. Low. Okay. Average damage. Creeping up from the middle. Spotted. Third. Capture points. Second. Dropped capture points. Near last. But do any of those numbers show you a trend of it's a crappy tier 9 light tank, which is my point? None of them show that. In fact, in a lot of cases, they show it pretty good. This is the same thing. Not a lot of capping points out of this. Win 8, what are we looking at? Down near the bottom. But the rest of them, is it bad? Is it terrible? Is it awful? No. Is it amazing? No. It's a pretty balanced average tank. If you want a tank that needs to be nerfed, look at the WZ-132A on win 8. But of course, I'm going to go to win rate, and it's down here. Right? All right, let's go to tier 8. LHMTV. I want my MTV. Again, I'm not saying they're awesome. I like them. They fit my playstyle. What I'm saying is they're as average as the rest of them. All right, so where are we going? We got win rate with the LHMTV. Yeah, it's in the middle. Most of what you're going to find LHMTV is that it's in the middle. Oh, actually, it's at the top on survival. Again, the careful thing. We got damage dealt. Where is it? It is third, fourth. Kills to death, third. Hit percentage, in the middle. Destroyed battle, middle. Maybe top third. Average damage, not bad at sixth. Spotted, worst. Interesting. Again, that's that careful thing, people. But, 2.39 is still pretty high. Capture points, second, sneaking onto the cap. Dropped capture points, probably lower to middle. Oh, there we go, sixth. Efficiency rating at fifth, and win 8 at seventh. There's a lot worse tanks out there, guys. Look at the Hawk 12's last. Efficiency rating, where's the Hawk 12? Where's my favorite tank? Let's go to win rate for my favorite tank, the Hawk 12. Nope, second to last, okay. That's not good. Survival rate for the Hawk 12. Decent at 8. Damage for the Hawk 12. Where is it? Is it down? Oh, last. Kills to death. Oh, now that's a bad light tank, right? We're getting a picture of a bad light tank here. Last on hit percentage. The gun's atrocious. Most of its problems are its gun, to be quite honest. It's 15th, destroyed. Its average damage is 13th. Its spotted is probably relatively high. Yeah, at 6th. Capture points, 15th. It never gets there. Dropped capture points for the Hawk 12 last. Efficiency at 12 and win 8 last. That's a bad light tank. That's what a bad light tank looks like. Nearly everything down at the bottom, not nearly everything in the middle. Couple things bottom, couple things top. That's how you know a bad tank. Poor Hawk 12. And then the tier 7 I talked about, which is again a objectively, provably bad tank. Setter at the bottom on win rate. Survival. Not bad because people are careful with it, although that doesn't translate to wins apparently because it's near the bottom. Damage dealt and received at the bottom, although the Awful Panther, that's legacy data. It's not around anymore. Kills to death, bottom. Hit percent, near the bottom, even though it has a decently accurate gun. Destroyed, bottom. Average damage, worse than a tank that doesn't exist anymore. Spotted, not bad. He's creeping up to 9th. Capture points. Hey, look at that. We got to 4th. Dropped capture points. Bottom, slightly worse than the T79. Efficiency, bottom, other than the Awful Panther. And win 8. Hey, we crept up to 10th. That's an objectively bad light tank in the Brit line. So perception and reality. The reality is the setter's bad. The LHMTV and the GSOR are average. and the mana core is appearing to be slightly above average. That's the reality. That's the reality. Whatever you think, whatever your gameplay is, whatever your personal opinion of a tank is, whatever your playstyle is and how that affects your opinion is noted and is important, but it does not make it a bad tank. It's just the way it is, folks. I don't know how to say it any more plainly. And I have said this straight from the whole time. I've also admitted that possibly when we get to this point, I could be wrong. Maybe in 3 years I'm wrong. I don't know. Right now, I am not wrong. There is nothing wrong with them. The setter needs a buff. The mana core needs 3 crew members and probably a couple more shells, just so it's not so annoying. Those are almost just comfort things, not really making them overpowered. At least in the case of the mana core. But that's it. The perception that they're bad is incorrect. They are not, minus the 1. What can you say? You know what I mean? What can you say? Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out. I thought it was very, very interesting on those. I know already the comments. I could write them out and put them in the comments section right now. As once again, the same old saws about not enough data, only good players, people only do well because they play carefully. Duh. As if the way you got to the stats matters. That's it, right? Oh, I'm sorry. It's the stats are not valid because you're not playing the game the right way with it. That's what's being said there, basically. It's idiotic. It is idiotic, 100%. All right, man. So I've taken a strong stance. Beat me up. Take your shots. But I hope you got the data. I hope you have the data. Oh, the other thing that I'm going to get a long diatribe about how these basic server stats are not to be trusted. They're not quite right for balance. That's not how you look at the stats. That'll go into somebody is going to go fairly deep into that. But you know what? Go for it. Go for it, because I will learn something. Every time I talk I'm not telling you that I'm some kind of stats guru. I take them generally at face value, but I'm also interested in finding out why certain things may or may not be important. But if you look at the macro piece of the stats, it's fairly obvious once you get kind of a trend and a lot of stats showing things, what's overpowered and what's not, right? It's harder when there's a lot of noise, when they're kind of jumping around through all those things. But here's the bottom line, guys. I've said many bottom lines. I'm touching my face, not supposed to do that. If your goal is to have a good win rate in something, one of the things you can do is look at a tank and see what its win rate is and get a general idea, not potentially specifically for you, but as you are looking at it, a general idea of which tanks perform well in this game, in this closed system. The numbers are there. That's how they do, regardless of who's playing them or not. That's the big picture. Now, you're going to have to decide if it fits your play style, if you're willing to play the tank that way, all of the other things that go in with that. Right? I'm just talking overall, objectively. Brit lights are fine. Setter is bad. Mana core is slightly good. E25 and 12244 need a nerf. Those are things we learned, I think, today. All right. All right, since we're getting snarky and salty, we'll just end with this forum post of the day. I've actually slid the guy's name off the side. You'll find it on the forum. You can see the title. But maybe the guy's name is in there anyway, but I think I covered it up. Not that I'm not worried about name and shame on here, but not really what I want to necessarily be about, at least in this case. This guy is one of the known trolls anyway, but my goodness gracious, look at this. Someone at Wargaming must have thought it would be a wonderful gesture to give everyone 14 days of free premium. That's true, it was a wonderful gesture. Except, oh, here we go. Ready for it? Let's get some conspiracy tinfoil going on. You ruined the game for the next 14 days for everyone. Okay? Your rig system is unable to cope with everyone having premium on the server, and you let the very, 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 that's 3 varies, horrible players that cannot afford to play tier 10 battles into tier 10 battles. I'm not really sure how that follows. I'm assuming what he's saying is now they have premium, they can make enough credits to play tier 10. But couldn't they really do that anyway? Just save up enough credits and play tier 10? I guess he thinks it's happening more. Because when you're a bad player and you have 14 days of premium, you hurry up and grind out some credits so you can jump into tier 10. Is that what happens? I don't think so. With one fell swoop, you made this game pretty much intolerable. And the level of stupidity has reached a new bar. Oh, I did show his name. Whatever, don't care. I knew I was going to. Either that or your 14 days of premium made it cost feasible for the people running illegal bots to move into the higher tiers. In which case it's been almost a decade exactly. How much progress have you made to remove bots from the game? Other than, it's THAN, by the way, other than the ones you place in the game to inflate your numbers, and so late night players do not have to wait an hour to get a battle. I don't know, that sounds reasonable to me. I wouldn't want to wait either, so, you know, if that's where we are, that's where we are. But anyway, all right, there you go. I'll just leave it at that. I was looking for a forum post of the day, and I saw that, and I just had to share it because that just really irritates me, man. Hey, 14 days of premium, serious thing going on in the world. Here's a little gesture from the company, and then people are going to go to the forum and come in there and crap on them. And it's best when you do that to bring in your conspiracy theories as well. Let's pretend it does bring in more bots and people. Who cares? You got 14 days of premium. Play the game. If you don't like the game because people are botting or whatever, and they do. I'm not saying people don't do that. Of course they do. They get kicked out all the time. They get caught. They get kicked out. Some get by. Yeah. Happens. Hey, welcome to online gaming. Good. Nice to see you. I'm glad you finally woke up from your sleep, Rumpelstiltskin. Did you fall asleep in 1972 before online game happened? And this is really bothering you now? I don't know. I don't understand, man. I do not understand sometimes some people's unbelievable, just unbelievableness, right? Unbelievableness. All right, let's end this thing on a high note. Because I'm going to go get some more coffee. There's that beautiful little E75. Look at that guy. Totally not overpowered. Have a safe week. It should be miserable Monday. Tomorrow I've got a lot of good stuff. Hopefully I can get that video done. Should be able to get a video or 2 a day. I'm hoping to maybe crank it back to 2. We'll see what happens as we go along here. So have a good week, guys. Stay safe. Hunker down if that's what you have to do. Minimize contact if you can. You know, it's the overuse thing. Let's no kidding try to flatten the curve there. The less of our elderly and compromised people that die, the fewer of those that die from this disaster, the better, right? So let's do the human thing and try to make that happen. And then we're going to have to figure out how to dig back out. When we come out the other side, you know, make sure you're supporting your local businesses. Make sure you're working hard to try to keep as many of those things alive as you can. I'm doing that, trying to order takeout from all the small restaurants around here. A lot of these people are friends of mine. I would hate to see them lose their business because of this. I also would hate to see people lose their loved ones. So getting deep right there, but you know what I'm saying. I think you guys all get it. That is all I've got for today. I hope you have a good week or as good a one as you can. Take the time and do something with it, man. I know I'm doing that. I may even sit down and start working on my book again. But that's all I've got for now, and we will see you.